December 7th, 1941. 7:48 a.m. Pearl Harbor, a date that would live in infamy. The skies over Oahu were clear, the sun just cresting the horizon. Suddenly, chaos erupted. Japanese aircraft, unleashed from carriers miles away, descended upon the unsuspecting American fleet. Within minutes, battleships lay crippled, and the world was thrust into war. Yet, amid this devastation, a pivotal lesson emerged. The era of the battleship was waning. In its place, a new sovereign of the seas was rising, the aircraft carrier. These floating airstrips had demonstrated a new doctrine of naval warfare, one where air power was paramount. Thousands of miles away, the USS Enterprise, having narrowly escaped the attack, was already setting a course for the future. The message was clear: the seas belonged to those who could command the skies. May 4th, 1942. The Coral Sea, the first major battle where aircraft carriers engaged each other. The USS Lexington and USS Yorktown faced Japan's Shokaku and Zuikaku. Over 200 aircraft took to the skies. Pilots, trained for months, now had their moment. Below them, the vast Pacific stretched endlessly. High stakes and high tension, both sides knew the significance. The battle was a tactical draw, but strategically it was a victory for the Allies. The Japanese advance was halted. What they didn't know was that this was just the beginning. The shattering impact of carrier warfare had been realized. The loss of the Lexington was a blow, but the strength of the carriers was undeniable. The lessons learned here would soon bear fruit in the waters of Midway. June 4th, 1942. Midway Atoll. The horizon was a thin line between the ocean and the sky. Admiral Chester Nimitz, commanding from Pearl Harbor, knew the stakes. Intelligence had cracked Japanese codes, revealing their plans. The element of surprise was on the American side. As dawn broke, aircraft from USS Enterprise, USS Hornet, and USS Yorktown roared into the sky. The ensuing battle was fierce. Dive bombers plunged from the clouds, their payloads finding Japanese carriers Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu. Explosions echoed across the sea. By the end of June 7th, 4 Japanese carriers lay at the ocean's bottom. The victory was decisive. It shifted the balance in the Pacific, proving that aircraft carriers were now the fleet's backbone. The age of carrier supremacy had truly begun. August 7th, 1942, Guadalcanal. The Solomon Islands were a strategic jewel. Control them and dominate the supply routes in the Pacific. The USS Wasp, USS Saratoga, and USS Enterprise formed the core of the naval support. As Marines fought on the ground, the carriers played a crucial role, providing air cover and striking enemy positions. The challenges were immense. Tropical storms, supply shortages, and fierce Japanese resistance tested every sailor and pilot. But through relentless sorties and naval engagements, the tide turned. By February 1943, Guadalcanal was firmly in Allied hands. This campaign was a testament to the versatility of carriers, able to project power across vast distances and support ground operations. The lessons learned here would be invaluable in the battles to come. November 1943, Tarawa Atoll. The island chain was small, yet heavily fortified. The USS Essex and USS Bunker Hill stood ready, their task to soften the defenses and support the amphibious assault. The skies rumbled as waves of aircraft took off, their engines a deafening roar. Pilots, many just out of flight school, faced intense anti-aircraft fire. Yet, their courage was unwavering. The bombardment was relentless. On November 20th, Marines stormed the beaches under cover of naval gunfire and air support. The battle was brutal, but the carriers had done their job. In just 3 days, Tarawa was secured. The cost was high, but the strategic gains were immense. The Pacific Islands were stepping stones, each one bringing the Allies closer to Japan. June 19, 1944. The Philippine Sea, known as the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. The USS Enterprise and her sister ships were ready. Japanese forces launched over 400 aircraft in a desperate bid to halt the American advance. What they didn't anticipate was the overwhelming superiority of American pilots and anti-aircraft defenses. The skies were filled with tracers and smoke trails. By the end of the day, over 300 Japanese planes were downed. The battle was a crushing defeat for Japan, losing not just aircraft, but also experienced pilots. This victory cemented the dominance of carriers. It was a testament to the evolution of naval tactics, where air power was now the decisive factor in sea battles. October 23, 1944. The Battle of Leyte Gulf, the largest naval battle in history. The USS Intrepid, USS Franklin, and other carriers formed Task Force 38. Japan's last major naval offensive aimed to cripple the Allied invasion of the Philippines. For 4 days, the sea churned with fury. Carrier-based planes launched relentless attacks on Japanese ships. The battle saw the first organized use of kamikaze tactics by Japan, a desperate measure against the overwhelming might of the carriers. Despite the chaos, the Allies emerged victorious. The Japanese Navy was decimated, effectively ending its ability to conduct large-scale operations. The power of the carrier was now indisputable, securing air superiority and projecting force across the vast Pacific. February 19, 1945. Iwo Jima. The volcanic island loomed on the horizon. The USS Saratoga and her fleet provided critical support. For days, carriers launched wave after wave of aircraft, softening the enemy defenses. The island was a fortress with tunnels and bunkers carved into its rocky terrain. Marines landing on the beaches faced gruesome resistance. The carriers, meanwhile, continued their relentless sorties, providing cover and striking at Japanese positions. The battle raged for over a month. The capture of Iwo Jima was vital, offering a base for fighter escorts and emergency landings for bombers. The carriers had once again proven their worth, a cornerstone of the Allied strategy in the Pacific. April 1, 1945, Okinawa, the final push towards Japan. The USS Essex and her sister ships unleashed a barrage of air power. The island was heavily defended, and the Japanese were prepared to fight to the last man. Kamikaze attacks intensified, targeting the carriers with ferocity, yet the American pilots and anti-aircraft gunners held their ground. Day after day, sorties continued. The island was a key staging ground for the planned invasion of Japan. The battle lasted nearly 3 months, the carriers playing a pivotal role in securing victory. This was the last major battle of the war, a testament to the strategic importance of aircraft carriers. Their ability to adapt and project power had changed the course of naval warfare forever. August 15, 1945. The war had ended, but the legacy of the aircraft carrier was just beginning. These floating fortresses had proven themselves as indispensable tools of modern warfare. They redefined naval strategy, shifting the focus from traditional battleship engagements to air supremacy. In the post-war world, nations recognized the power of carriers, leading to an arms race in naval aviation. The Cold War era would see further advancements as carriers became symbols of national power and influence. As the sun set on the Pacific, the echoes of their engines still reverberated across the seas. The aircraft carrier had ascended as the new king of the sea, and the story of their dominance was far from over.